Hi everyone, I hope you are doing great. It's your favorite CAD addict, Best of Delta. If you're here for the first time, please click the subscribe button and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when next I post a video. Well, if you are an old timer here, thanks for hanging around. It shows you're doing great. Thanks a lot, and I really appreciate that. So today we are going to be looking at exercise 10. Alright, in our previous video we looked at exercise 9. Alright, so moving forward, we're going to start off from this point. Okay, this point where we have this dimension, a straight line 70. Okay, so straight to CAD. Alright, as usual, I have my CAD open up already, so I'm gonna start off by creating layers. All right, so I believe by now you already know how to create layers, so I'll just go ahead and create the layers we might be needing for these drawings. So let me do that right away. Okay, I have construct one layer already there, so I'll create a layer for dimension. Alright, so I'll call it dimension 1. Press enter. The color of this dimension layer is going to be blue. Alright, so I'll click OK. Now we are done creating the construction line. Next up, we start off by using the construction lines to bring a kind of rough sketch of the actual drawing we need. A rough sketch. All right, so 0, 0. I'm starting off from the origin. That's the origin right there. Okay, I need a vertical and horizontal construction line, so I'll pan a little bit. Okay, right, I think that position is okay, so I'll go back to our main layer, which is the 0 layer. Now click line. Like I said, back to our PDF document, like I said, we are going to start off from this point. Okay, starting off from this point. Right, so the distance of that line is 70 millimeters. All right, so I'll lock my cursor to this point of intersection. I'll take a distance 70 millimeters. Press enter. As you can see, the line is still very small. I mean, the dimension is very small, so I have to zoom out by using the rotary part of my mouse. I'll zoom, then I'll pan to this to centralize the drawing. I'll zoom out and pan, zoom out and pan. All right, I guess that size is okay for now. All right, so next up, back to our PDF document. Now I want to start off by creating these lines. Okay, this horizontal, the base of this drawing. Okay, here from this point to this point is 30, that will go up 20 millimeters. All right, so let's do that. Click line, lock to that, ensure your cursor locks to the end of this vertical line. Click there, then enter a distance of 30. Yes, 30 millimeters. Press enter. That will go up a distance of 20 and press enter. All right, as you can see from the PDF document we have here is a curve. All right, a kind of a semicircle. All right, so but for now we're going to use an horizontal line to represent that. Later on we can work on that. Later on you see the reason why we're using an horizontal line to represent that. So the the radius of this curve is 20. That makes the diameter, the radius is 10. As you can see, that makes the diameter 20 millimeters. Okay, so we are going to draw this horizontal line at a distance of 20 millimeters. You type into and press enter. Then we'll go down at 20 millimeters as well. Okay, so PDF, the distance here is 60, so take an horizontal distance of 60 millimeters. Press enter on the keyboard. Next up, we'll go up a little, 20 as well. Type in 20, then we'll take the horizontal distance, still at a distance of 20. Type it in and press enter on the keyboard. Then we'll go down distance of 20 as well, and press enter on the keyboard. As then back to our PDF document. All right. Here, that this is the point we are right now. Okay. So we are taking a distance of 40 millimeters to the right. Then we go up at the distance of 44 millimeters. All right. So let's do that. Yeah. Distance 40. Press enter on the keyboard. Then you take a vertical distance of 44. You press enter. Right, so that's it now. So we're going to stop there for now. Then we are going to proceed from here. So let's go back to, okay, before we do that, let's try to put in these curves. Okay, these curves right here, let's try to put that in. All right, so back to CAD. Next up, what we want to do, we are going to draw in a cycle. Then we'll use the trim command to get rid of the other half of the cycle. All right. So the purpose of these horizontal lines here, these two horizontal lines you're seeing right here, is to help us locate the center by the virtue of object snap to on. We will locate the center of this line, which will serve as the center of our cycle that we're going to be drawing in right now. All right, so I'll go to draw ribbon, then click on cycle. Then ensure my cursor locks to the midpoint of these lines. I'll click on it. Then I'll enter the radius 10. Okay, then press enter on the keyboard. That's what we need. Then press the space bar on the keyboard to re-enter the previous command. Then ensure our cursor locks to this midpoint of this horizontal line. Then click on it. Then type in radius 10 as well. Press enter. Now this horizontal line serves this purpose. I'm going to highlight it and get rid of it. This one has also carried out its purpose, so I'll press delete on the keyboard. Next up, we'll use the trim command to get rid of the half of these cycles, because what we'll need is just a semi-cycle. Okay, half of the cycles, that's what we'll need. So we'll use the trim command. So we go to the modify ribbon, click trim, then press enter on the keyboard to select every object in the model space. Alright, so click on the half of the cycle we don't need. We don't need the bottom half of the cycle, so I'll click on it. We don't need this, so I'll click on it. So that's it. That's what we want. That's the shape we want right there. Alright, so next up we are going to continue drawing the upper part of this model. Alright, so next up, looking at this where we are right now. Okay, so looking at this, you'll find out that we'll have a radius here, a curve here, radius at radius 20. Okay, so we're going to take from the end point of this vertical line, we're going to take a distance of 20 millimeters. Also take an horizontal line at a distance of 20 millimeters, and we'll take that makes this entire line, horizontal line, upper part of this drawing 70 millimeters from this point down to this point, 70 millimeters. Okay, so let's do that. Later on we can use the fillet command to put in this curve. Okay, so let's do that. Back to CAD. Alright, click line. Yeah, click line, then show your cursor locks to the end point of this line. Click, sorry. Okay, yeah, that's good. Alright, so take a distance 20 millimeters, press enter. Then we'll take a horizontal distance here at 70. Alright, 20 plus 50 which is 70. Press enter. Alright, that's it. So next up, back to our PDF document, we are taking a vertical distance down at the 30 millimeters. Okay, we take it down 30 millimeters. Then take an horizontal distance here at if the radius here is 15, so we're taking which means the entire diameter is going to be 30. So take an horizontal distance 30, come back up at 30 millimeters, and then go this way at 35 millimeters. Okay, so moving forward, back to CAD, you're coming down 30, press enter. Then we'll take yes, horizontal distance of 30 as well, press enter. Then we go back up at a distance of 30, press enter on the keyboard. Then we'll take another horizontal distance here at the same level here at the upper part at 35 millimeters. Okay, type in 35 and press enter on the keyboard. Now we can easily join the end point of this line to this end point. All right, and so your cursor locks to the end point of this line, then you click on it. Now that's what we need. Next up, we're going to use the fillet command to put this curve there, right there. Okay, we'll put the curve right here. All right, so you go to modify ribbon, go to modify ribbon. All right, then you click on fillet, type in R for radius, type in R for radius, then enter the fillet radius. The fillet radius according to our PDF document is 20. All right, so I will type in 20, then press enter. All right, so we'll choose the edges. We'll click on the edges we want to fillet. I want to fillet this edge, I also want to fillet this edge as well, so I'll click on it. Just click on the edges involved. All right, so that is the curve we need right there. So next up, we are going to input we're going to input this semicircle, this curve here. All right, so we're going to draw it in. The midpoint of this horizontal line is going to serve as the center of our cycle. All right, so I'll go to draw ribbon, click on cycle, then lock my cursor to the midpoint of this horizontal line. All right, then I'll enter a radius of 15, press enter on the keyboard. That's what we need. Now this horizontal line has served its purpose, so I'll click on it to highlight it, then press delete on the keyboard to get rid of it. So next up, I'll go to modify ribbon, then I'll click trim, because we want to get rid of the upper half of this cycle, because we don't need it. All right, so I'll go to modify ribbon, click trim, then click enter on the keyboard to select every object in the model space. Then I'll click on the upper half of the circle that I don't need to get rid of it, just like that. All right, back to our PDF document. I guess that's all we need for this drawing. Next up, we'll move forward by putting in the dimensions. All right, so that's it. I'll press escape key to exit the current command. Okay, so next up, we are going to start dimensioning. In order to do that, now we've made use of our construction line. We don't need them anymore, so I'm going to turn them off. Right now I'm going to turn off the construction lines. How do I do that? I'll go to the layers ribbon, now I'll click on draw diamond of the layers ribbon. Okay, now I'll click on construct one. Yeah, that is a construction layer. Okay, then I want to turn off the construction line, so I'll click on this light bulb right beside construct one to turn off the construction lines. Okay, so I'll click on them. Turn off the current layer. That's it. So the current we've succeeded in turning off the construction lines. So next up, we want to start dimension, so I'll go to the dimension layer. All right, so our current layer now is in the dimension 1, which is our dimension layer. All right, so in order to start dimension, I'll go to the annotation ribbon, then I'll click on dimension. All right, so you click in between the lines you want to dimension. All right, so I'll start off dimension from this point, so I'll ensure my cursor locks to the point of transition of those lines there. Now click on the other edge of the line I want to dimension, ensure it locks to that point, the cursor locks to that point. All right, so the distance there is 70, but if you are not okay with the test height here, you can go ahead and make some changes. I believe by now you already know how to do that. So okay, so we'll go ahead to input the other dimensions. All right, so click here, then click at this other point, just click in between the lines you want to dimension, then you move forward. All right, that's it. So I'll dimension this point as well. Go on this edge, 60, just exactly as I'm doing it. Right, if you just follow my instructions, you aren't going to experience any difficulty dimensioning this. Okay, it's a simple drawing. Okay, all right, we need this dimension here as well. What's the distance here? Okay, that's correct. Here we need the radius of this line here. Need the radius here, radius 10. We need the radius here as well. What's the radius here? Radius 15. What's the distance between this point and this end? That didn't go well, so I'll get rid of it. Press escape key to exit the dimension command and click on the dimension line you don't need. Then you press delete on the keyboard. Right, so I'll go back to our annotation ribbon, click on dimension. Yes, lock, ensure your cursor locks to the end point of this line. Alright, then lock it point to this end point as well. 30, that's what we need. Alright, next so we'll put this dimension up here. 35. Okay, we need the dimension here as well, right there to this point. 50. Okay, then we need the radius of this curve. Yeah, we need the radius of this curve. Radius of this curve. Correct, I see 20. Okay, that's it. I guess that's it. That's all the dimension we need for this drawing. Okay, so you can go ahead and yes, you can go ahead and check out how your drawing is going to look like on paper, right? So you can go to the bottom left of the screen. Yeah, go to the bottom left of the screen, click on layout 1. Yes, click on layout 1. I'll click on this outer border line to select this shape. Now press delete. I want to get rid of it. I'll go to layout. I'll click on layout, then go to rectangular, click on draw menu, select rectangular. Okay, then click on this edge. Just you are going to draw a rectangular shape that will take a space for your drawing, where your drawing will be, where the entire drawing will be. Okay, so you just take it to the extent you like, then you click the left button of your mouse to enter the entire space. Alright, so this is better. Alright, so next up, we don't need these grid lines. Okay, we don't need these grid lines, so we are going to get rid of it. So you can come to the bottom right of the screen where my cursor is right now, where you have the paper. I want to switch back to model space whilst we still on the paper space. Okay, why we're doing this, because we want to turn off these grids. We don't like it, we don't need these grids here. So, okay, so in order to do that, I will switch back to model space by clicking on paper. Alright, so I'll click on the grid mode to turn it off. Click on it, that's it. Then I'll click back on model space to go back to the paper space. Alright, so next up, we don't need this blue border line. Okay, we don't need this blue border line, so I'm going to create another layer called viewports. Alright, so I'll go back to home, go to layers properties, I'll right click new layer, viewports, type in the layer viewports and press enter. So next up, yes, we are done creating the layer. We shouldn't be concerned about the layer color, because we're going to be turning it off. Okay, so I'll just click close to close the layers dialog box. Next up, I'll click on this border line. Now currently this border line, this blue border line, is in the dimension layer, so I'm going to take it to the new layer we just created, which is viewports. So how do I do that? I'll go to the layers ribbon, click on drop down menu of the layers ribbon. Why the borderline is highlighted already, now click on viewports. Now we've taken the borderline to viewports. Next, I'm going to turn off the viewports by clicking on this light, but where my cursor is right now, I'll click on it to turn off the viewports layer. Right, that's it. Now the blue borderline is no longer there. That's what we want. So that's it. That's our drawing right there with all the dimensions visible. Okay, this is a nice work. Okay, I believe you can do a better job. So you go ahead to put in the border lines and the title blocks and the rest of other informations you think you might be needing. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.